Hi everyone, welcome to my first YouTube tutorial. I was inspired by the amazing Jordan Harms. I'll link her below, definitely go check her out. This cat was proper easy to do and I used minimal products. If anyone recreates this then please tag me, I'd love to see it. All products will be listed in the description bar below. If you like my video then please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you! Okay, let's get started. I began by mapping out where I want the white fur to be. I used a nude MAC lip pencil, but any skin tone shade that you have will do. Don't worry, it hasn't got to be too precise, it's just a rough guideline for now. Next I mixed a tiny bit of black face paint that's by Superstar with a lot of water to get a really transparent consistency. Unfortunately though, I did leave my white face paint around my mum's house, so instead of making the grey tone to begin with, I had to then go in with my white cream paint to get the right colour that I had in mind. Doesn't matter though, because it all came out alright in the end. I began to fill the spaces in the middle with white cream paint. I chose the one by Snazaroo, I got it off eBay, it was super cheap. As you can see, I'm dragging my brush out onto the grey to create fluffy hair-like strokes. Try not to be too precise and symmetrical though, as animal fur isn't always perfect. Alright, at this point, is anyone starting to think I look more like a rabbit rather than a cat? I then switched to a Zoeva eyeliner brush and grabbed a bit of pink paint by GlobalColors and started to do the tiny nose. Don't worry if you make a mistake, we can always clean it up at the end. I decided that I wanted my cat to be blue rather than grey, so I mixed blue paint, again by GlobalColors, with a little bit of white and started to put this on the higher points of my face and body, and then I blended it out. I layered more white to these parts to really highlight it. It also creates depth and dimension. For the details in this, I only use 4 eyeshadows: Chaos and Gonzo from the Urban Decay Electric palette, and Corrupt and Time Travel by MakeupGeek. Grabbing Time Travel on a morph angled brush, I started to outline where I want my cat's mouth to be. And before you lot get any rude ideas, that is a cat's mouth. Then on a slightly bigger brush, I blended out any harsh line with Chaos. I picked up the eyeliner brush again with Corrupt on it and I deepened the details further. To make this as lifelike as I can, I keep going back in, switching my brushes and colours. Next I use Time Travel for the little holes where I want my whiskers to be. I'm trying to be as symmetrical as I can. As cats' noses are really prominent, I deepen the space in between my eyes with Time Travel, blend it out with Gonzo and Chaos, only to darken it again with Corrupt. This will give the illusion that the nose and mouth are protruding off my face. After a couple quick selfies, I add the same shadows to my little cat's jaw. When I put the light pink lipstick on, I realised that it was too much, so I decided to dull it down a little bit. I switched to Borjois Lip Velvet in soft pink. That's better. I cleaned my detailed liner brush in IPA and picked up some white paint and started to highlight above the whisker holes. Then I grabbed Inglot white gel eyeliner and started my cat eyes. I dragged my brush down into the corners, creating a real feline sort of look. I definitely recommend using eyeliner in case your eyes start to water. Okay, so you need to have the same depth in the eyes as we have done the rest of the face. So add the black shadow with a small angled brush and blend it out like we did before. Remember, don't worry if you don't have the exact colours that I use, just pick 3 shades of the same colour and a black and it'll all work out fine. To do the eyes, I first picked up the lightest blue shade that I've been using on a Sigma fluffy brush and started working this in my upper crease. I began doing tiny circular motions, and once the product has left the brush I then use windshield wiper motions. Then I changed to a smaller, denser brush with a darker blue and kept this mainly in my lower crease. I try to remember when doing eyeshadow, the bigger the brush the lighter the colour, so when I go in with the black to really darken my eye, I'm using the smallest brush. So doing the stripes are super easy. Just grab a brush and a lighter blue shadow and start to place them around the perimeter of the body. Once that lighter blue shade has been laid down, take your smaller brush and a darker shadow and start to shade each stripe. It's important to have the same depth and dimension in the stripes as we have the face and eyes, just so the look is more cohesive. Okay, so you need to darken your eyes, so choose any eyeliner that you have or that you can work with. In my opinion, I only use Maybeline gel eyeliner. Not only is it so cheap, literally under a £5, but I've tried so many different products, some high-end and some drugstore, and I feel that this one works the best for me. It's so black and it lasts all day. So I'm feeling like the white just doesn't pop enough, so I feel like I need to add a little bit more highlight. I take my ring finger and a brush and I apply it to my high points of my cheekbones again and on my chin, carefully diffusing the edges. Contrast is so important when face painting, so you need to remember that whenever you do a shadow you need to do a highlight to match it. The white fur on top of my forehead seems to get a little lost by the stripes that we've done, so again I'm just picking up the fluffy brush and I'm dipping it in the white cream paint and I'm intensifying that again. If you add a cute little white highlight to the nose, this can help bring it to life. Highlight the lips with the same methods that we used before. Take the white paint, dab it in the centre and then diffuse the edges. Now I'm really going to layer the paint on my chest to make it look as fluffy as can be. You don't really want to be too controlled with this, just start in the centre and drag the brush out. This will help make it look more like fur. Right, let's work on the chest fur. Grab a fluffy brush and Gonzo, which is the lightest blue that we have used, and start doing little swiping motions. Try and keep this just at the edge of the white. To make it look even more like hair, we need to really shade it. I took the next darkest shade, which happened to be Chaos, and put this directly under each brush stroke. Switch to a smaller brush for a bit more precision, then blend any harsh lines. When body painting, you always get to the point where you hate what you're doing, you're ready to lose your shit and wash it all off. It was this point that I was feeling pretty deflated and that my fur wasn't looking as real as I wanted it to. Once I did the tiny little flicks of white paint off each large brush stroke, I felt that this really brought it back to life. Then once I add the darker flicks of paint, this also complemented it perfectly, but please be wary not to overdo it as they're meant to be little accents. Now replicate what we done on the chest to the face and the forehead. Make sure you're being really strategic at where you put the dark stripes. Less is definitely more. Don't forget those whiskers. There's no real technique to this, just grab some black paint on a tiny brush and start by drawing them on. But make sure you don't paint them coming out of every single hole, this will look way too crowded. Lastly, put on your favourite pair of false eyelashes, chuck in your contact lenses, the ones that I used were Green Dragon from Mesmerise, and then put on your wig and voila, we're a cat. Thank you all for watching my first YouTube video. I've been so nervous and I've been wanting to do this for over a year and a half now. Let me know what you think. I hope you all like it. Bye!